Ich war kein Footballcast, we're here to light the fire. Spitting facts and stats, you know we never tire. Bringing the heat up, that passion won't retire. Busting through the mic, our voices never expire. We ignite the spirit, never fading out. Light the torch, USC fans rise up high. On this podcast, we aim for the sky. Knowledge and entertainment never lie. Together we stand, let the truth amplify.
What's going on, Trojan fans? Welcome to the Light the Torch podcast. And boy, we have a show for you guys. This is going to be some fun times, right, guys? Right? This is going to be fun, right? Let me hear you guys. Come on. Where's the energy? Where's the passion that we should have from a leader?
All I'm saying, we've got the Dodgers to root for.
Let me just get this intro going first roll. Okay. All right. So to my right, we have B Jones. You know him, you love him. He's the man that has all the he gives us our information. He's the man to go to. Like if you don't know, if you need to know anything about USC football, follow the Light the Torch podcast, Twitter, and he will give you guys some good information here. And Guns, he's the man with the recruiting. He gives us every update that we need to know about where we're at in recruiting. So follow him, follow his channel, Views from the Stands. Definitely check it out. And next week or this coming week, we have him be playing. Who are we playing this week for the Cal Southern Centaurs? You're on mute.
Yeah, we're playing Texas. It'll be on Tuesday.
Oh,
it's a night game, 7 p.m. It will be the start time. So.
Well, we already know that this Cal Southern Centaurs are better than us. All right, Roll, the king of the streets, and you really don't want to see him on the streets right now because he will slap the heck out of you. But yeah, how are you doing, Raul?
I don't look for fights or anything like that. Don't believe what these guys say.
No, I'm just saying
I am pissed
something to you
today.
You're frozen, by the way.
I'll say this. Yeah, that's fine.
At least he's looking happy.
Yeah. All right. So no, I'm gonna just say this, man. I mean, it's a tough weekend with how things transpired yesterday, but I got too much love for this university, too much love for these players, so I'm gonna keep supporting them. So that's why I'm here. So
all right,
no matter what, it's fight on.
Yep.
Right. I'm glad you said that, Ro. Glad you said that. So there's been a lot of chat. I even saw a YouTube video from a guy who I'll say he's new to the USC content space, but it came across my feed, and he was saying that we should boycott and not show up to the games and all that. I 100% disagree with that.
Yeah, we still need to show up.
I understand frustration. Yes, this is extremely frustrating. We should never be in this position, but our players deserve our support through this. This is not on them.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a hard time.
Exactly. So
we still fight on.
Yep. We go. So yeah, I mean, I get it, man. It's not easy to do, but you know, the players deserve better from us and from other people as well. Just coaching staff. But yeah, man, just continue to support the players, man. Show up to the games.
Yeah, I mean,
just like our fight song, "Fight on for OLC, fight on to victory."
Yep, I mean, things yesterday definitely we probably hit rock bottom, or if we haven't hit rock bottom, at least we're very close to it.
We hope this is rock bottom.
But I mean, we still have a lot to play for in terms of, we got our pride to play for. We got to support our players. Lincoln Riley definitely needs to step up, and we'll get to it here shortly. But it's not easy. But we, like B. Jones said, we got to support our players. We got the young squad coming next year, and we got to show support and show them why they got to come to USC. If we're all negative, why would people want to come here? So we got to continue to support the team no matter what, and keep the coaching staff accountable. That's for sure.
Exactly.
Yep. Definitely. All right, guys. So today we're starting off with our pregame. We're going to be starting off with the game recap. We all saw the game, and if you haven't, we'll go ahead and refresh or let you know what happened in this game, how ugly it got. And yep, so you want to take that away, B Jones, or I have the box score up here too if you want me to go over that.
So, as you guys already know, we lost this game 29-28 on the road at Maryland. Just another ugly loss on the road to an inferior team. We'll get more into that later, but here's the stats. Miller Moss, 34 for 50 for 338, 3 TDs, 1 interception. We told you about Billy Edwards. We told you that he was pretty solid, man, and he went out there and proved it. He was 38 for 50, 473. 373 for 2 TDs and 1 interception himself. We told you who the red dot guys were on that team, and they went out there and proved why they're red dot guys. So Caden Prater had 9 receptions for 111 yards. That was a red dot guy on that team. We did do a good job, as we've been doing all year, in stopping the run. Their leading rusher had 6 carries for 54 yards. So just beat us with the aerial attack. I mean, we thought safety would be a strength of ours. I'm excuse me, not safety, but secondary would be a strength of ours coming into this season. I mean, I know we're kind of a little banged up here and there, but either way, man, we expected better play out of our secondary. So,
Yep.
We do have. I mean, our stars did what they did. Woody Parks had 17 carries for 89 yards and a touchdown, which I don't know why he hasn't gotten over 20 carries yet this season. But we'll get into that as well. Kai Lemon. We told you, man, the guy is the guy. You know what I mean? The guy is, he's a dog, man.
Amon-Ra St. Brown 2.0.
Yep. So he went for 8 for 89 yards, man. So, I mean, there's more stats, but those are leading receiving and rushing for both teams.
Yeah.
Once again, man, we blew another first half lead.
A 14-point lead. That's the third time this year.
A fourth quarter lead as well.
Yep.
All right, so that is the game recap. So now we're going to get into our first quarter, and we are going to be talking about what a lot of people have been saying in the comments right now: horrible play calling. And when I mean horrible, is Miller Moss throwing 50 times and not relying on the run game. What do you guys think? What would you guys consider horrible play calling by our head coach? B. Jones?
Are you going to go with me first?
Yeah,
All right.
I'm going with you first.
Listen, like I mentioned just a few seconds ago, right? Woody Marks only had 17 carries for 89 yards. Give him 2023, he's over 100 for sure, right? I said this is the game to run all over them, right? That we're supposed to run all over them. We jumped out to an early lead. When you have an early lead, you run the ball. You run the ball. Why do we keep abandoning the run? That is horrible play calling. That's the biggest knock on Lincoln Riley. These opposing coaches, they know that he's going to throw the ball. He cannot stick to the run, even when it's working. And the other team can't stop it. They're like, oh, don't worry. He'll come back to the pass. And he knows that we're struggling in the passing game. Everybody can see this now. It's game 7 now. There's no more secrets. Everybody can see what we put out there because we look the same from week 1. We look the same now that we did in week 1, which is a whole nother problem.
Mm-hmm. All right.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely spot on. Let's hear from Raul. Still with that smile on his face too. Raul, you're on mute.
I have to agree with B. Jones. I mean, it just makes no sense why Lincoln Riley can't stick to the run if that's what's working, especially when we have a 14-point lead at half. Why don't you try to run the ball, eat some time, and make it a short game and just close it? Why don't you? I can tell you why we're not closing games. Look at yourself in the mirror. That's why.
That's
I,
it right
I
there.
don't need $10 million, Lincoln Riley, to know the answer. I know what the answer is. It's you. Your horrible play calling. You not having the cojones to go for it on 4th and 1 or 4th and inches when our kicking game may not be the strongest. And if we don't, why rely on a kicker to hit a 40-yarder when we can just run the ball and end the game there? You're playing not to lose a game instead of playing to win the game.
Exactly.
So I'll give you your answer. You don't need to go searching. It's yourself. Look at yourself in the mirror. Got to be accountable. You got to keep yourself accountable and realize that you just haven't been good enough. And I don't know where we go from here. The administrators have to realize that. I just hope for your sake that you figure it out, and for our sake as well. You figure it out and start turning the things around, because we can't afford your overall play calling, and we can't afford to take any more else like this. We got to do something quick.
Yep. You're not wrong. All right. Guns.
Yeah, I mean, just continue to say, what B. Jones and Rose said. I mean, the run game, we got to keep. I mean, I don't understand how we can't give. If you take away 10 to 15 pass attempts and give that to, Marks and Wood, Joyner, I mean,
Yep.
we're winning this game. We're probably winning most of the pass games. I mean, I just don't understand. I mean, in this league, in this conference, you have to run the ball, and you have to run the ball pretty consistently to kind of wear down on some of these teams. And so,
Yep.
it's definitely stubbornness from Riley and his offense and his play calling. So, hopefully, something or someone can put some sense into him and just make him realize that, hey, we got to run the ball more.
Exactly. So we'll talk a little bit more about this here, but the play calling when it came to when to do an RPO, and then we ran with Miller Moss. Like, the stats kind of show he had 3 attempts and gain of 2 yards in total. So there, a lot of people have been saying it, but we'll get into that in another quarter here. But then the announcers, the play-by-play callers, they were pointing out everything when it came to Quentin Joyner. They're like, he's 100% guaranteed for yards. He's 100% guaranteed for yards. They said that multiple times and on TV, and he was nowhere to be seen. Every time he got a play in there, they're like, see, he's gained some more. He's gained some more yards and all that stuff. They were pointing out stuff that Lincoln Riley should have been doing all along, like giving Quentin Joyner more touches. The fact that he only had 3 attempts is insane. The fact that Miller Moss had 50 attempts is insane, especially in the second quarter when we're up by 14 points. Like, no. And it's just the fact that like when it like the calls that he was coming up with, that he was calling when it came to passing, I don't think they were horrible. It's just the fact that he passed the ball so much when all we had to do was just rely on the run game. Woody Marks was getting positive yards a majority of the time. He was averaging 4.8 yards a carry on 17 attempts. Like, are there any analysts telling him, hey, this is working? And is he just like drowning it out? Like, no, I'm right. I'm pretty sure he's probably doing that. So it's just like, why is this not working? Like, you can see glimpses of the play calling, and like we saw glimpses of that in the Penn State game. Why weren't we seeing any of that in this game? Why was this the most basic play calling, like we were playing like we were playing a Utah State? Why? We knew we needed to rely on the run game. We knew like that's what I don't know. Okay, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm pissing myself off.
Listen, man, and I get it, but USCJ says this all the time, right? Matter of fact, you hear him say it just yesterday. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing
over and over again
and expecting a different result.
Yep.
We've been telling you for 3 years now, Lincoln Riley, that you need to run the ball more. Right? Travis Dye should have had more carries.
In all honesty, he did have a lot of carries, though.
Huh?
He had a lot of carries, but then he got hurt.
He had a lot of check-downs. He didn't have nearly as much as he should have.
Yeah. Like, if anyone can get as much carries as Travis Dye got, at least, that would be good enough in a sense, because Travis Dye was taking over games. He was taking over games. Our run game was saving us. We have not had a game where the run game saved us when we could rely on them. Like that. I don't know. All right.
I'm gonna say this one more time. Hold on before we move on.
Sure, sorry.
I'm gonna keep saying it. Whatever happens with Lincoln Riley, right? If we decide to move on or he decides to move on, I do not want to see not one other Mike Leach product in Cardinal and Gold.
Nope.
I'm over it. I'm over the whole air raid scheme. I'm done with it. It don't win. It's never won. No disrespect to Mike Leach. He's a great coach, and he probably should be a Hall of Famer. I mean, some people might debate that, but he probably should be a Hall of Famer. But no, it don't work. It's never won. It's not proven. All right, that's the end of my little rant.
And I'll say this too before we move on. Lincoln Riley has regressed so much when it comes to play calling. Like, I don't even consider him a good offensive coordinator at this point.
I've been telling you.
Like,
I've been telling you.
He hasn't done anything, and you're telling me that you can't do anything to help out your quarterback. You're putting him in a bad spot. We all know that this is not on Miller Moss, by the way. So for all those going at Miller Moss, it's not his fault. It's Lincoln Riley's fault for putting him in a bad spot. We know that he has some limitations. He's not a Caleb Williams out there. But if you were to run the ball more and keep the defense honest and the defensive coordinator honest and not knowing, okay, are they going to pass or are they going to run this time? You know, it will help out Miller Moss.
Roll. That's what most teams do when they have turnover at quarterback. Yeah, that too. When they have turnover at quarterback, the following year, when they're breaking in a new quarterback, they're going to rely on their run game.
Yeah.
Right? How many times have we seen that?
And then we have great running backs, so it just makes no sense.
Our O-line, they're not the best pass blockers, but they'll get after it in the run game a little bit. Yeah, and that's been proven. We had 100 plus yards. Woody himself had 100 plus yards on Michigan, the best defensive line we played, right?
Yep.
Penn State too.
Oh no, we have all of the tools to do it. It's just we don't have competent play calling to do it.
Yeah, so that I was gonna say, it's like it might be time, Lincoln, to give up play calling and fully focus on just being the head coach, because I don't know if we're gonna get into that now, B. Jones, or not, but I think you ended up forwarding me a post, and Lincoln Riley wasn't even there.
Yep.
In the huddle.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's been going pretty viral, I guess, between the USC community. So, yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. So there was do you have it, Black Chan? Can you pull it
up? I don't have it.
Okay.
Yeah, let me forward it to you.
All right, well, while we're getting that together, man, let me just explain.
I feel like we should wait for that towards the end and talk about that with the lack of growth, because I don't think that's part of play calling or the next other topics.
All right, well,
let's stay on topic for right now.
We'll get back to that. All right, cool.
All right.
So
All right. So
Jefferson.
quarter number 2. Do we need to change that QB? And Kenneth, yeah, okay, sorry. Guns, we'll go and start with you.
Yeah, I mean, something definitely needs to be changed, especially if he's going to keep doing these RPO plays and calls, the counters. I mean, given the fact that Moss doesn't run as much as the past quarterbacks that Lincoln has had, I feel that some of his plays are just ineffective due to the fact of that QB not being more mobile. So yeah, I mean, again, we have 4 losses. Let's try it out. I mean, worst case, you go back to Miller, and right, we just kind of keep going into the rest of the season. So, I know the one thing I am a little concerned, or have been, I should say, or yeah, have been concerned up until now is that he wasn't great against the pressure last year.
Right.
So that was always my thing, and others, uh, especially Ken, because since he's the one who's really brought it up. But yeah, we got to make something.
All right, guys. I want to be putting a poll in our chat here. So go ahead and respond to that here. I want to see. Please vote, guys. We have 40 people in here. Vote in our chat. Does USC need a change at QB? And all right, people are voting real quick already. All right, good. All right, let's go with B. Jones.
So, I mean, we're all Miller fans here. So before we even get started on that, we do love Miller. We love the story, how he's a true Trojan. But we got to keep the 100, and we got to critique him like everyone else. He has not been getting us there. I mean, if you look on paper, the numbers look fine. They look okay. But the reality is he's just not a scheme fit. We got this square peg that we're trying to fit in this circle. So his failures are not even 100% his fault, which is the worst part. You know what I mean? I think even he could live with, if it was all on him, he could live with, his own failures. But right now, this O-line is not built for him, for his success. You know what I'm saying? Now, like what Guns mentioned, 100% Jaden needs to at least get a shot to see if we can get a spark, right? 100%. But it is concerning. He did have the worst turnover rate in CFB, right? Or passer rating. Not turnover, the passer rating. That was last year. I mean, we can see how much he's grown. You know what I mean? He throws up 6 picks in 2 games. Then cool, put Miller back in. But we have to give it a shot, man. We are limiting ourselves on offense by keeping Miller this game. It's almost like we're just tanking the season if we continue to roll with Miller. I mean, he'll play good until we get in those clutch situations when we need him to deliver. And he's not getting the job done for us, man. So I think it's time to explore another option.
All right, smiling Raul.
Yeah, just kind of going with B. Jones. This is, like I stated earlier, I don't think this is a Miller Moss. There's more on Lincoln Riley and not putting him in a position where he's going to be successful. I think Miller Moss could definitely be a good quarterback. Definitely not going to say he's, Caleb or anything like that in terms of, potential. But I think Miller Moss, very smart quarterback. If he were to be playing in an offense that suits him, he needs a good O-line to make sure that he can go through his progressions and whatnot. But obviously our O-line isn't, completely there yet. And Lincoln Riley hasn't adjusted to that. He still is calling plays, assuming that the O-line is going to protect him and that, the RPO is going to work, and it hasn't. So this is on Lincoln Riley and not on Miller Moss. So just get that, clear that out. But being that Lincoln Riley doesn't want to adjust in his play calling, because of that, we do have to make a QB change at this point. We don't have really much to lose. Our season's over with in terms of making the playoffs. So I guess to see if it works out, putting in Mayava in there and see if he can spark up some positive momentum and finish the season strong. I think it'll be beneficial to give him a shot this upcoming week.
Yeah, well said. Well said. I personally do like it. I'm a Miller Moss stan. I love Miller Moss. He's a great leader for this team, and I appreciate everything that he's done. And he has great throws. He's very precise, but like a lot of people are saying, RPO is to be able to needs to have a more mobile quarterback. And there are times where there's an RPO, and it clearly the defensive line already beat the offensive line, and Miller Moss can see it. He sees it, and he still gives the ball to Woody Marks, and when he should have easily just tucked the ball and ran. But that's if he may have trusted his legs a little bit more to run that ball, because when he did run the ball, it wasn't effective, and it was a clear RPO situation. And they're not afraid of Miller Moss running the ball. So that's why they just crash right down and go after Woody Marks. And yeah, we need that ability to scare someone with pulling the ball out and taking it at least a good 5-10 yards. That's what Jada Mayava gives us. And yes, it's scary that he did have a high turnover margin last year, but that was with another team. And I'm not going to take anything away from Lincoln Riley. He still knows quarterbacks. He knows how to develop them. It's just his play calling that needs to be developed better. It's just he knows his offense would be better with someone that could be a threat on the ground. And Jada Mayava, he's a big body guy. He's 6'5", 220, 230. He can take on, he can fight for those hard fought yards, especially on the 4th and 1, which is something that would have easily been good for a Jada Mayava kind of play. Like even if we don't do a full switch, I just need to see something, a different pace, something that makes the defensive coordinators on the other team think, oh crap, we have to worry about this now. Like they're not worried about Miller Moss taking off and running the ball. And Jaden Mayava, he has a strong arm, and I know a lot of people were seeing it. There were some, like Deuce Robinson was having to stop to go after a ball. And it's just so frustrating because you see passes like what he did to Jacoby Lane that are just insane catches. But I just think that's also just athletic ability from our wide receivers making those catches, because that literally is one of the second best catch of the year, first best catch of the year. We have two of the top catches of the year on our team. Like it's just insane. But I think it speaks to true athleticism by our wide receivers at this point, rather than a great throw by Miller Moss. And like, I love Miller. He's a great leader. And like, I have no doubt that if this was an RPO offense, he would thrive perfectly in it. But right now this is not an offense for him.
Yeah, he has no confidence right now, so that's why he's struggling. But
yeah,
so everyone talks about Jaden's interceptions, right? And rightfully so. I mean, if you look at the film, the interceptions that he did have were pretty bad. You know what I mean? But I mean, I would like to think he's grown from that.
That was a true freshman.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. So I'd like to see it. I'd like to think that he's grown from that. But Miller is on the pace for more right now.
Yeah.
Yes, 6 in 6 games.
And those interceptions are not like, they're not like athletic abilities from the wide or from the cornerbacks or a tip ball from our wide receivers. It's just they were poor throws. This one was a poorly ill-advised throw.
Yeah, I mean it's bad, man. I mean, this is no knock on Miller. Miller is good. I mean, like
Yeah.
yesterday, man, he made some passes that. I mean, you're like, man, how do you fit that ball in there? He'll do stuff like that, but then miss easy ones that we need at the worst times. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yeah, like
it's
the one
what
that
it
he
is.
threaded in between like three cornerbacks, that was a beautiful pass. And that, in all honesty, I wouldn't have advised to throw that. He had someone right down he had Woody Marks in the flat, but it was a beautiful pass. He threaded it in there, and it was beautiful. But then the one that he was scrambling and or whatever is just like, and then the one that he threw way out of bounds to Jacoby in Jacoby Lane's direction, like he threw that way out of bounds, not even close for him just to make a one-handed grab.
And like for those in the chat, we do know that he lacks some arm strength. We know that for sure. So it comes back to Lincoln Riley. Why is he calling these plays that is going to put Miller Moss in a tough position? He has to adjust to his quarterback, and he's not doing that.
Yeah, like Miller Moss is great with the short and intermediate passes, but then when it comes to like those deep threats, like when it comes to throwing the ball to Deuce Robinson, he was open like in downfield. You just got to throw it up there and just throw it up so he can run underneath it.
Yep.
Not like
I'll
throw
tell
a
you what,
dart. You shouldn't be
that.
forcing that. You should be lobbying it up so he can run underneath it because he had the guy beat. But then he had to stop
Seen that this year, though?
a lot.
Exactly.
He's 6'6".
Listen, Jaden has the arm to get it there.
Yeah.
That we know. He has a big arm, man. We've seen it all last year. Look at us film, man. He can throw the deep ball. And that's where Miller struggles, man. And we have the receivers to go deep.
Jaden reminds me of Sam Darnold.
Yeah. That's a fair comparison. Is it the number?
Yeah, exactly. That's the only he has the ability to scramble and make up like good 10 yards. Like
man.
Yeah. I just wish Lincoln Riley would have thrown Maiava in some packages. I even brought it up in the Michigan game.
Yeah, everyone's.
And I would say we're struggling on that game. Why don't you just put Maiava at least to get the D line thinking? All right, who's keeping the ball this time around?
And I've been a Miller Moss apologist. I've been saying that we don't need to do any of that kind of stuff for a while, and now I just have to bite the bullet and just say yes. Like I don't want to see that because he's been such a great team guy. He's a Trojan through and through his blood, and we love that. But sometimes that is just not it. That's not all we can rely on. And like it hurts to say that because like I drink a Miller Lite before every game. It's Miller time, baby. We've been saying that for the longest time. It's Miller time.
But Miller ain't even been Miller right now, man.
Yeah, where is this Miller Moss from the LSU game?
Shaking up, man. He's shaking up.
Is it the repeated hits that he was taking before?
Hey, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. Come on, you know the saying.
Yeah, but like I think that he will still be drafted in the NFL. Like I don't think not many teams are going to be playing the same style that Lincoln Riley does. So I'm hoping that they would actually adjust to his strengths rather than trying to make him someone that he's not in a sense. But yeah, so that's it for that for this one here, guys. I know we can talk about this all the time, but we're already halfway through this show. So you guys ready to move on?
Yes.
All right, guys. So halftime. So we got some recruiting with Guns, and I don't know if Guns wants to talk about this, but we gotta let the fans know.
Yeah, guys. So I mean, tough loss. basically the future kind of looks like, I would say, is that the defense. You're probably going to see most of these guys still sticking with us, right? I mean, the defensive staff is legit, and they have the relationships. The offensive side, I think we are going to see some potential fallouts in this future. I'm going to say from the first one, I think Juju could be somebody that could be leaving. Simple the fact that they anticipated at least an 8-4 season. We have our 4th loss, so I don't think we're going to go undefeated the rest of the season. But you never know. So, I mean, just from that standpoint, I think there's going to be some rumblings in the future. For that, I could see a Carday Smith. I could see him bouncing to Colorado. He's going to be visiting this weekend to Colorado. There's could be 1 or 2 on the defensive side, like potentially Hayden Lowe. He could flip to maybe like an Oregon. But I think we're going to see the most impact of this season on the offensive side. That would be my kind of guess and thought process right now. But yeah, obviously the big one is going to be the Juju. We'll see. But I just kind of want to put that out there now just so you guys can get ready. I just based on how this loss went and everything that's kind of going on, it doesn't seem likely. So,
Well, it's nice to hear that the defense knows that we need them. So I'm sure that's pretty much their whole mentality is that, hey, they have the staff to do it. It's just we need the depth and we need the guys. So, Floyd Picard, he was looking good in his game. So I'm hoping we can keep him because he's definitely going to be a much needed depth and maybe even starter next year because we're losing Kobe Pepe. But I'm not surprised.
Kobe could return. He has that option. So, but I agree. He could definitely step in. I personally have no concerns for him. The only really concern right now on the defense side is Hayden Lowe. How you say it. Yeah. So I mean that's really mine right now.
Yeah. But I'm hoping we can finish with some kind of positive note by the end of the season. And a lot of people are talking about Juju going to Indiana, and I don't blame them. They're undefeated right now. They're looking good. They destroyed Nebraska. So, yeah. Anybody in the chat have any questions about recruiting? Anyone else in the panel have any questions about recruiting?
I'll just say this. One thing that Lincoln Riley knows is at least dual threat QBs. And I know Juju's not, a Lamar Jackson, but he has some wheels behind him. He can escape the pocket and, run. So I think he's an ideal fit for Riley. And if he chooses to leave, he's going to be his loss. Yeah, Indiana is doing better this year, but it's only this year. And it's a stepping stone school. Like, that coach is not going to stay there. If he continues to be successful, he's more than likely going to go to a bigger program. So just think about that. I mean, no offense to Indiana, but you guys are not a blue blood. And good for you guys that you guys are successful this year. Not trying to disrespect Indiana at all, because we hope that we were in your shoes right now for this season. But, you guys aren't a blue blood. And, if Juju decides to flip, it's probably his loss.
And I don't know if we mentioned this on Wednesday's show, but we did get a commit before this game. Big time offensive tackle from out of Utah, Aaron Dunn. So I just wanted to kind of end with a good note on the recruiting side. So we're still getting some guys, here and there, but there'll be some impact overall, basically.
All right, I'm just going to close it. Sorry, I'm closing the poll here. So right now, the poll for does USC need to change at QB 84% said yes, and 15 said no, and that's out of 26 votes.
I want to hear from that 15. I want to hear what you got to say. Shoot, please tell me your reasons why. I mean, I would say at the very least, if we do not replace Miller Moss, we should definitely take the ball out of his hands a little bit.
Packages.
But
just give some different looks. Okay. All right. Halftime over. Let's not give up a 14-point lead. All right. Game management. Third quarter is game management. And a lot of people have been saying this online, how poor game management. I don't like, are we even going to talk about that freaking timeout at the end of the half? What?
No.
All right. Let's. All right. So B Jones, since you said something first, you go first.
That timeout just made no sense. We took a timeout just to take a knee.
Just to rub it in our face. He knew we've been talking about this.
Listen, man. Riley, game management, man. I don't know who his mentor is at this point, or even if he has one, but he definitely needs one, man. Pete is around again. Maybe he reaches out to Pete. Pete reaches out to him. Somebody needs to make that connection. Something. Riley needs a mentor, man. It's that simple. He needs to pick somebody's brain about game management, even if it's on his own staff. You got Matt Ince right there, who was a former head coach, man. But
and a
reality is,
winning head coach.
What's that?
And a championship winning head coach.
Right. Yeah, but right now, man, he's proven over and over that he is not a game manager. So I'm making the suggestion that he relieves himself from play calling so he can see outside. I mean, like when it comes down to crunch times, his head is in that playbook instead of, getting the team riled up or actually assessing the situation, man. At least that's what it looks like,
Yeah,
So,
I mean, BC, this is a perfect time to bring up that picture or that post.
You don't want to save it to lack of growth.
Nah.
There. Go ahead and pull it up.
All right.
I mean, it goes to what B Jones is saying. Like, leave that damn.
Get your face out of the playbook.
Yeah, like just leave that damn paper already behind and focus on your game, the entire game, not just offense.
Okay, let me see if I can open this here. All right.
But
all right, let's zoom in. Saying what USC football fan said. He says, "I was really a fan of Riley until tonight. I just left the game and sat about 15 yards from the bench. I watched a coach who was completely detached from all player interaction except for talking to Miller Moss. The team had many big plays where they were in a huddle on both offense and defense, and almost every time Riley was either by himself looking at the little sheet of paper or watching the huddle from the outside of the circle. I have been to several Alabama and Georgia games and have watched their coaches completely engaged, not disconnected at all. Many times Saban was directly in the middle, firing up his team. Riley just seems to have no fire. I just can't figure it out." And these are the pictures that he has provided. Yep. Defense, offense right here, I think.
My suggestion, I don't care if Mama Jen that's Jen Cohen, we call her Mama Jen here, it has to make him hire offensive coordinator. That needs to happen. I don't try to poach little bro from Clemson. I don't care. Somebody that you trust.
Yeah.
But you ain't it, man. I'm tired of people calling him this man the offensive guru. Sure, he can probably draw out the plays, but boy, like Carter said, man, he does not know when to call them.
Yep.
And he's proving that over and over, man, since he's been here.
yeah, I mean, and then you shouldn't, like, this picture doesn't sit well with me. Like, why are you not there with the defense, hyping them up or showing your support? Like, how do you? expect them to, play well and play for you if you're not even going to be in the huddle there.
Yep. I'm taking this off. I don't want this on my screen anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, it all right. Game management. Did we all go through our game management?
Not yet. It was B. Jones.
All right. Raul, give us your game management thoughts.
You guys know my stance on this. He has terrible game management. He keeps letting the clock run down, and very crucial situations. Just yesterday alone, I think towards the end, he let like 14, 15 seconds go down the drain just because he didn't want to call a timeout. And then, we ended up turning the ball over with time on the clock. Just like rushing the offense to just pass rather than, mix it up. If he were to call a timeout, maybe we can run the ball and get that, first down and get in position to kick that potential game winning field goal.
Yep.
He did that, this week, and then he did that the previous week as well, just letting the time beat up, and then you end up calling a timeout before halftime just to take a knee. Like, what are you doing out there, man? Focus on the damn game. Take some accountability. Because, I mean, as much as I know the fan base would like to see him get fired, chances are that he probably won't because of the buyout. But, for our sake and your sake, figure it out, man. Take some accountability. And when they ask you that question, why haven't we closed game? It's because of poor game management. That should have been your answer. I haven't been good enough. I got to be better for my team, for my players, for the program, for our fans. That's what you needed to say, Lincoln Riley, instead of I don't know. You get paid $10 million. You got to know something, man.
Yeah. The fact that he wanted to, he made a point to get rid of his last final timeout in the first half, but then decided to keep his 2 timeouts with 50 something seconds left in the game. Like, why are you rushing our offense? You need to take those timeouts so you can know the game plan, so you know where we need to go, where everything, like, you can't just rush it and just expect, like, I know they do practice like that 2-minute drill where you just go down the field without having to get into a huddle and all that stuff, but sometimes we just need to slow it down. And like, because 2-minute offenses is if we don't have a timeout and we have to just keep moving the ball. We have the timeouts. Use them. They're there for a reason. They're not just there just in case because or if they are there, but it's just like, use them because we're not getting into overtime. We're going to be winning the game. It's not like we're trying to go into overtime or anything like that. Just come on. Like, this was just horrible game management. Like, I wanted to yell at the top of my lungs, but I was at a kid's birthday party, so I couldn't yell. So I was just thinking to myself, like, why is this clock still going? Why is it still going? And we're just rushing to the game or rushing to the ball, and we're making mistakes. Guns.
Yeah, I mean, just continued, echoing what you guys have mentioned. I mean, the timeout at before half was just stupid. I mean, I don't even know what I saw there. The timeouts at the end, not using them, kind of, wasting a few seconds here and there. And just overall just managing the game, right? And that kind of goes into the play calling, since he's the offensive coordinator and the play caller, but like manage the game better, where we're putting the defense in maybe better positions, putting your offense in better positions, like field position. I mean, that's so key, and especially in the Big Ten. I mean, a lot of these teams, that's all they're going to do. They're willing to punt and then, hey, go 90 yards down the field to score a touchdown, right? Like, we got to be able to counter this what they're doing to us. So, yeah, just frustration.
All right. Anything else you guys want to add on to game management before we get into the last and final quarter?
Yeah. Man up. Fourth and
That's part of
inches.
that's part of lack of
Yeah.
growth. Just kidding.
Yeah. Fourth and inches. And what do we do? Like, come on, man. What message are you sending to your team?
That would have been a perfect call for Quinn Joyner or B-Jack.
Or RPO?
No, because if we put Jaden Mayavan, yeah.
But
But
yeah,
B-Jack
man.
and Quinn
Play
Joyner,
action, right?
Quinn Joyner has not had negative yards at all this whole year. What makes you think it's going to start now?
Man, but
All right, I'm
not
done.
just that, man. Not just that. Hold on, BC. Last point. The dude has to develop a killer mentality, man. Every game that we had the lead, and then we get soft and conservative with the play calling coming out in the third quarter. Why? When we
I don't
can
even
put the
think it's
game out of reach.
I don't even think it's conservative because conservative will be running the ball.
Why? I'm talking about even passes. He want to throw lateral passes that don't go nowhere down the field.
Yeah.
Run
Yeah,
the
but-
ball if you don't do that. We have yet to see Zachariah Branch on the jet sweep. We've seen a reverse out of it. Why not a keeper?
Fake reverse. Do something. Make him.
Exactly. Why haven't we come back to that? Why didn't we come back to that in that same game?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, or that's what I said, I think before, is that like we saw a glimpse of some smart play calling, and then it was just most vanilla thing ever. It was as dry as his brisket.
Yeah. Yeah, man. It's definitely has to change, man. Something has to change.
Well, with that, we'll talk about growth or the lack of growth. All right. B Jones is the expert here, so we'll put B Jones there. Sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Don't hit it. Don't hit it. Don't hit it.
You got lucky. I was definitely about to hit it. Call me a growth expert. I don't know how to feel about it. But anyway,
Don't hit that, please.
yes. So I mean, like I just mentioned, man, that play calling is atrocious, of course. No killer instinct. But why? My thing is, we've been saying this since he got here, saying the same things over and over. Now we feel like the insane ones, right? Because we're saying the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. So he's literally driving us crazy. So the lack of growth, man. Why aren't you learning from your past mistakes? Even at last year, the games that we won felt like losses because the team wasn't performing to par. You sold us a bag of goods. We brought Grinch back, right? I mean, you're gonna hear it this time about Henson. Let's see what you do then. You're gonna do the same thing, or you face right now where you this week. It should have been a few weeks ago, but this week you're faced with a decision. Are you going to actually man up and take it and make it?
Yep.
That's what it takes to be a head coach, man. Nick
Hard
Saban don't have
decision.
these issues. If you're not performing, you're out of there.
Yep.
Your position group is not performing, you're gone,
That's exactly it.
regardless
Well,
of your
like,
relation.
we saw what well he kind of apologized about it, but Kenny Dillingham, what he was saying about, did you see what he said about the kicker?
I did see. I saw they apologized, but I didn't see his initial statement.
He says that we're holding open tryouts this Monday because we need someone that can actually kick the ball. And
I'm mad
they
they
were like-
apologized for it.
and one of them said, "Are you serious?" She's like, "Yeah, I'm dead serious." Like, he shouldn't have said that out publicly.
I have no
Like,
problem with it.
in all honesty, like, just as a head coach, you shouldn't be saying that because you're supposed to be professional and you can hold that behind closed doors on that situation. But as long as you make the change, even like, you don't have to say it out loud. You could just say it. or I'm not saying it. You can just do it.
Here's my thing about that, right? And it's pretty general, but look, you guys know I come from the military. We need to stop as a society, man. I'm talking to everybody now. We need to stop caring about how things are being said and pay attention to what's being said. And I brought up the military thing because that's just how we talk. You can get your butt chewed out, cuss at you, spit flying everywhere, cuss you out, really dog you out. But you don't take that personal. You think about what's being said and you take that in.
Yeah.
And you make the change.
But then at the same time,
remember,
but see, at the same time, we didn't want to go live because we knew we would have said something out of emotions. He said stuff out of emotions.
Yeah. But don't think
but
about
but is he wrong? But is he wrong?
No,
Exactly.
He's not wrong. But the fact about it is, he can. There's other like the way he said it is wrong. He could say yes. We do need to reevaluate at our kicking position. Not saying
right, but
we need someone that can actually kick.
Exactly. The message is kicker needs to step up.
Yeah,
and that's all that's been heard.
Yeah, but like when you're attacking someone, which how he was attacking.
He's not attacking. He didn't call his name. He didn't say this punk AB needs to step up kicking.
Everyone knows who he's talking about, though.
Okay,
that's fine.
So
that needs to the kicker needs to grow a pair and realize that he's not stepping up too.
Yeah, but like I said, you could just say we are going to reevaluate at the kicking position. That's all you have to say.
I'm not against it. I'm okay with either option, but But anyways, keeping it with Lincoln Riley here.
Yeah, that is true. But what were we talking? Damn it! Sorry, that's on
Lincoln
me.
Riley needs some of that. Lincoln Riley needs some of that. He needs to call out people publicly at times. Maybe not as bad, but make it be known, like, yeah, we haven't stepped up, especially Henson. Like, you kept Grinch way too long. You should have never brought him. And now you're keeping Henson way too long as well. And it might just cost you your job if you just fall flat in your faces the remaining games of the season. Who knows?
It's sad, though. Like, how we all wanted Beatenbow to come? OU fans are not even liking him anymore.
Yeah, but just Lincoln Riley needs to realize what B. Jones said earlier.
Yeah.
If someone's struggling, you're not doing your part, I'm sorry, you have to let you go. It's business. It's business. You're still my friend outside of work. But if you're not performing, you got to just head out,
Yeah, Henson's costing him his job because he's not making the changes at it. So if you want to keep your job, if you like your job, make these changes so you can actually be a performing head coach for USC, because this is not it. And if you keep performing like this by not making the necessary changes, unfortunately, we can't let you go right now because of your stupid buyout. But if your buyout wasn't that big, I would have been surprised if we kept him.
Hey, it's worth the shot. If Texas A&M can get the buyout for Jimbo Fisher through 2031, we can do it like 2050. We'll just have to pay
oil
him,
money,
pay him for 20 years down the line, since how big his damn buyout is. But hey,
we're so cheap, but they have oil money, and the oil people wanted him out.
Oh yeah.
And that's one more thing, man. I'm sorry. I'm sorry to cut y'all off, man. But one more thing, man, to add to this rant. Lincoln made a statement basically claiming that he does prioritize California recruiting.
Oh, God.
Because Lincoln Riley thinks we're all stupid and can't see for ourselves. And see that, and we can't read apparently either. When we literally read that schools like Mater Dei and Bosco will hold events, and pretty much every coach in the country is there, but there's no representation from USC, who's right down the street. But you prioritize California recruiting.
Yep.
Stop lying to us, bro. Yeah. You're not gonna be able to lie to us. That's done. Like that.
That's unacceptable.
Who do you think? What you think this is, man? You think we're just stupid and can't read or something?
You don't think that the coaches are not going to say something about this?
The coaches are wondering why. Like, yo, what's going on? Like, we grew up USC fans too. Why you think we don't want our kids to go play here at home where we can see them?
You don't think we have friends and family or even kids that go to the school not telling us this kind of stuff? Don't think it's not going to come out soon.
That's disrespectful, man. I took that as disrespect for even making that claim when we can see the exact opposite.
We could see you in Texas.
Right.
In
I
Georgia.
know another coach who did that, prioritized another state. And then next thing you know, he was out the job. So it's pretty much how you got here, buddy. Had all kind of locker room issues because of that too. But that's a whole nother story.
Yeah. In all honesty, if we were to able to get a new head coach, I want a defensive dog.
Well, since everybody's putting in their picks for new head coaches, man,
I don't even know who to think of.
I'll say bring Lane back. Lane understands California recruiting, and he has new connections down in the South that we need for those big boys as well. But give Lane.
I thought you were just talking about having a. I thought you were talking about having a defense guy.
No, you just said that.
Okay, yeah, I did.
I mean, I don't disagree.
We have the same name. We have the same name.
That literally came out of your mouth, man.
Sorry for cutting you off.
No, you good.
So you pick Lane?
Yeah, I want the Lane train back, man.
Do you think we could actually do that? Do you think we could actually pull that off?
It's a whole new staff.
But do you think we could actually pull that off if we were to move on?
Yeah, Lane would come back.
Yeah. I
think so?
He will. I mean,
after the tarmac?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he'll be
knows
fine.
that,
He realized he messed up himself.
Not even that. It's just he realized that all those people are gone.
Would you take Sark back?
Yeah.
Why not?
Sark's not leaving though.
Yeah,
Oh no, Sark is sitting good except after this last game, but that's not gonna sway anyone from getting him fired. So, but I honestly, yeah, I would love to have Lane back, but then Raul, wouldn't you be worried about him having conversations about pregame stuff?
Yeah, you know my stance on that. fucking head coach better be fucking focused. Fucking focus on the fucking game plan, not
Raul, I'm gonna mute you.
Well, you got me started, BC. Why you call me out like that? So I'm gonna answer you.
I'm just saying. I muted you. Sorry. No F bombs. I know you want. I know I called you out, but you can call me out, and I'm not going to F bomb it. Ken, don't get him. Don't start this too.
You got to be focused. Hey, I can say a few F bombs, man. I got some passion. So
we all have passion.
I'm just saying. Hey, but Feinbaum wasn't incorrect. Carter brought up Feinbaum. I guess we owe him an apology.
No, he's talking about how Lane treats Feinbaum.
I'm still not going to apologize to Bum. Still, he's still a bum.
Yeah, I mean, but let's just cut the head coach job until he gets fired. I don't see him getting fired because of the buyout. So for our sake, I hope he gets it together and he looks at himself in the mirror and takes some accountability on his failures and shortcomings because a lot of it is his fault.
Yeah. Also, actually, I don't know. I'm not going to talk about this right now. On another day. But do we have anything else? Huh?
The Guns have a say?
Yeah, I was about to ask Guns.
Oh yeah, just lack of growth. I mean,
Are we still talking about that? I forgot.
Yeah, I mean, for me it is, Jack. I mean, the thing is, I mean, when you say I don't know to a question in terms of how we're losing games, this and that, like that right there to me just shows the lack of growth. Like you can't even answer a question, the right way or just differently. Like you just say I don't know. Like So I really hope a lot of people over at the athletic department are ripping him a new one. Because yeah, he definitely needs to be
Take
yelled at. He needs
responsibility.
he needs to he needs to know that the stuff that he's doing today is not working. He needs to grow quickly. And yes, if we were to move on from uh, Riley, especially midseason, I do agree. I think Matt Entz is the interim head coach. He's been a head coach. I'm sorry, but the whole Lynn thing is a little too much for me. I think he needs to really focus on the defense because, in all honesty, the defense. I mean, there's been times where we haven't been great, and fourth downs in particular, right? I mean, so yeah, I would say let Entz be the guy if that's the route we do go this season, which
Yeah.
is slim, but yeah, I think that just tells that the I don't know just really tells Riley right there. He just hasn't grown since he's shown up, hasn't grown really since he's been a head coach in general.
Yeah.
So
Well, Guns, you said what I was alluding or not alluding to, but kind of stopped myself from saying it. Though, like people were saying Lynn
yeah.
to be promoted, but there were times where the defense let us down, and this one, like we did not make any adjustments on defense in this one. We didn't show any different types of pressure. We didn't have anyone trying to spy the quarterback from doing his RPO stuff. Um, like this loss is just as much as Riley's as is the defense. Like the defense did not look that good this time around. We were making stupid mistakes. So this was a go ahead.
Sorry, not to cut you off, but here's the thing, right? The defense, you see in the first half, the defense looks great, right?
Yeah.
But when you see the ball's not moving on the other side of the field, on the ball, on offense, that defense starts wearing down. We're already thin up front. We don't have the guys to rotate like we knew that already. We're thin up front, so they start wearing down. And then that's what we see, busted coverages and, mental mistakes. So, we knew that coming in. We just don't have the depth right now to sustain, man. So, when offense ain't getting it done and we're right back on the field, defense, that's just what it's going to be. That's what's going to happen. That's what we're seeing in each one of these losses.
Yeah, it just sucks, though. Like, we can't find a way to generate pressure at all. Like, we had maybe like a sack or two, and it was great, but it just wasn't enough. Like, how are we not getting pressure?
That's
like
not
we
on
have, huh?
That's not on a coordinator.
Well, it just didn't feel like we were even prioritized even getting pressure. We just did a 4-man blitz the whole time. You got to do more than that.
When you're one-on-one. Listen, all right, so let's take 10 for an example, man. We seen him get right back there, right? We seen him beat his man, get back there, and stand straight up and run at the quarterback.
Yeah. But
standing
sometimes
straight up, running at the quarterback. That's too easy. I'm just going to sidestep and you have to play just that quick. Why are you standing straight up? I know that that's not being coached. I know that they're not coaching you to stand straight up.
Yeah.
That's a player error. And from a veteran player at that, man.
Yeah, it is, but it's just even if we should be trying to do a 5-man blitz, 6-man blitz, or whatever, because that's what was beating us was the pass.
But exactly. That's why you don't want to put 5-man blitz. Who you gonna blitz? Who you sending?
Who I'm sending is at least our middle linebacker, because we were doing 3 backs at the time. Like we could do a 5-person blitz, not just a consistent 4-person blitz the whole time. It's just like if we're not getting pressure with 4, why not do a stunt? Why not do anything? Because when we were doing the only time that we were getting pressure was when we were bringing a linebacker with Eric Gentry. Why aren't we doing that? Why aren't we trying to replicate that? Like Desmond, Desmond, he can blitz. we need to try to do something to get some kind of pressure at least. It's just we're not making the changes to try to blitz.
Right.
Light the torches are pixing for. Yeah. Thanks, Tim. Thanks for putting a smile on my face, because if you saw my face right now, it would not be smiling right now. So, but yeah, it's just like we can't keep doing the same thing over and over again and expecting to get pressure. If we're not getting pressure with the 4-person blitz, try to do something different.
I hear you. I mean, we get creative with the blitzes. We send DBs short. You see a short side corner blitz with Jalen Smith. You know, he'll get there, but we got to start finishing the job, man. Running at the quarterback, standing straight up, full speed is not going to get you there.
Yeah.
Why aren't we breaking down?
Yeah.
It's just little things that are keeping us from making those plays, man. That is football 101 stuff.
Yeah, I definitely wouldn't mind though having Matt Entz as the head coach or the interim head coach, because that man, he knows how to motivate his side of the ball, and he's loud, he's in your face, he's going to motivate you, and that's what we're missing right now, motivation from our head coach.
Sure. Tim Rose is really happy today.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way to get a smile out of my face today, Tim. So
I screenshotted that too, so I could maybe use that in a video somehow.
it was best. It was best that happened today, because definitely not in a happy mood. But
It's literally the perfect freeze too. Like you could use that. You could use that as like a picture from now on, and not even have your video camera on, and it'd be fine. That's like the perfect picture right there.
yeah, but lack of growth.
Okay, so out of the things that we've talked about today, the horrible play calling, the change at quarterback, game management, lack of growth, which one do you think is the key thing that will turn this team around? If you had to make improvement at one of them, which would be the thing that would probably help the team win the most?
Run the ball.
That's a question off my head right now. I think that's a good question.
Play
Run
calling.
the ball. Run the ball.
So play calling.
Yeah, adjusting to the play calling. I mean, he needs to do everything. He's getting paid $10 million a year. Guy better be a top 5 coach.
Did Lucky Chan just applaud himself?
I did. I pat myself on the back for that one.
Good job, B.
Good job. Good job.
No. But yeah, man. I mean, yeah, play calling, we won. Run the ball. We wouldn't be in this situation, man, if you stuck to the run. I promise you.
And I honestly thought the moment that we didn't have Caleb Williams, and we would be, because he threw a lot with Caleb Williams, I thought we were going to run the ball a lot more. I thought that he would use Woody Marks and Quentin Joyner to take the pressure off him, because Caleb Williams kind of did his own thing back there and called his own plays. I thought the running game would be heavily relied on, and that would take a lot of pressure off Miller Moss. And he's done the exact opposite. He's been putting more pressure on Miller Moss's shoulders to make the play. And that's not on him for that. But I kind of think we should try a new quarterback first. Because with his play calling, with the RPO that he's been calling, that suits Jaden Mayava best. So when he does call those plays with Jaden Mayava in there, it'll be better ran.
Yeah.
That's why I'm going with change at quarterback.
Yeah, that just needs to happen. Sorry. That's immediate. That needs to happen yesterday.
So are you agreeing with me then? So are you changing your answer?
No, I'm not changing my answer, because that needs to happen. My answer needs to happen too. The two things can be true.
Yeah, so I do pat myself on the back for that question. I thought it was a really good question. All right, guys.
But
Any questions in the chat that we kind of want to answer that we haven't been talking about. Sorry, I just saw something funny on my TV.
Start
Anything else?
utilizing your players right. I still big believer in Branch. If he's used the proper way, he can, you know, come out of that funk that he's in right now. Like, look at the Chiefs. Like, I don't know if you guys saw that play, but McCole Hartman on a jet sweep, I think it was, scored. Like, why don't we do that with Zachariah? I don't care if the defense is zoning in on him. Do it for one play, even if we get very minimal yardage. At least to keep the defense guessing whenever he goes in motion. Like, do something, man. Figure it out.
Oh man, I'm glad you brought that up. So, two things: either Zachariah Branch needs to be replaced off returns, or you need to fire your special teams coordinator. Because this decision making, I don't know if he's being told not to field these punts, or he's telling himself not to field them. Either way, there needs to be change there ASAP.
Like,
it's ridiculous, man. He's not even giving himself a chance, or if he's been told that the best punt returner in the nation a chance.
You're right, B. Jones, because how do you go from an All-American special teams player or punt returner to not knowing how to return a punt anymore? Like, it's mind-boggling. And I would say it's coaching. Like, I mean, yeah, I'm sure it has to do with him as well to an extent, but you know, it comes down to coaching. Like, if you had a good special teams coordinator, he wouldn't lack this much confidence. He would just, you know, brush it off.
Yep.
All right.
Well, that's it.
Are we done here?
Conclude our town hall meeting.
All right, guys.
Yeah, and with that, I'm gonna agree with Tim, man. Guys, you guys gotta. It's sad. It sucks to lose, but you know you gotta fight on. Like, stay positive. Go support the players, because you know at the end of the day, we still got Riley as a head coach. So for our sake, we hope he figures it out, because he hasn't been fired. He probably won't get fired. So we got to show support and hope he, you know, takes some accountability and figures it out, because we can't afford to keep taking these L's.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's going to be it for tonight's therapy session or rant, whatever you guys want to call this. We will be back on Wednesday, regardless of how we're sounding right now. We will continue to be here. We'll continue to provide you guys a voice in our chat or whatever you guys want to do. We're definitely going to be here. Check us out on our Twitch channel, same as our YouTube channel is, and Guns will be there on Tuesday. So check out the live stream, and whenever there's anything that's going to be dropping, I'll try to make a video about it. We'll just turn on those notification bells, like, subscribe to the channel, do all that good stuff. If you want to support the channel a little bit more, we do have our membership, so we would definitely appreciate that, guys. But until next time, guys, keep the torch burning bright. And
Fight on.
Fight on.
Right on.